Hey, how you doing out there? And welcome into Uncle Steve's Lounge. It's the Monday Minutia. We are here to talk Atlanta Falcons football, and what else is there to talk about? About which quarterback is not going to be here for the 2024 season. Why are we so emotional? Let's stop it. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Monday to you. This is Uncle Steve, and you're in Uncle Steve's Lounge here on YouTube. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you for giving us a little time on your Monday. Thank you all who are watching on Facebook. We appreciate you all as well. As you're coming in, take a seat, take a load off. Make sure you like the video if you haven't already. And then for those of you who haven't subscribed on YouTube, please subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, Uncle Steve's Lounge. We are on the road to 2000, starting into 2024 NFL season. That's the goal. Help us get there. We appreciate it. So I hope everyone's had a great weekend. We had a good time this week talking about pros and cons of certain individuals who could be the starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons this year. And I guess I've kind of noticed something over the last, I want to say the last month or so, or really ever since the season ended for the Falcons, that we are, despite, I think, what a lot of people think, a really passionate fan base. We really are. If you start thinking about reasons for Falcon fans not to care, if no one cared about what was going on right now in the Atlanta Falcons team and roster, you wouldn't get all of this unbridled emotion, this clash of opinions, this room full of anger, this emotional just blob of who's right, who's wrong, which person is an expert, which person isn't the expert, what gives you the right to talk about it, what gives you not the right to talk about it. There has been so much made about the potential for this 2024 Atlanta Falcons quarterback room. And I said it time and time again. For those of you who have been with me for years, I say it, I stand by it, and it's the most accurate statement that I can think of as far as sports is concerned. The quarterback position is the most important position in North American sports. Bottom line, all you got to do is just look at any kind of media, for not only locally, the national folks are all on it. What team have they been talking about more in a lot of the national outlets? What quarterback position has been talked about more, other than Chicago, obviously, than the Atlanta Falcons? The Atlanta Falcons, the 7-10 Atlanta Falcons. And we are probably the most talked about quarterback room right now. Why? Because it's the most important position. I bet a lot of you didn't even know we re-signed our long snapper this week. Why do you not care, or why is that not being pushed all over the national news? Because long snappers don't move the needle. Quarterbacks move the needle, and I get it. I absolutely get it. But the Atlanta Falcons are at a crossroads right now for the second time in 3 years, because you were at a crossroads when you let Matt Ryan go. And I almost got the situation then where you brought in Marcus Mariota for pennies on the dollar. If there was ever a season that you would claim the Falcons might be quote unquote tanking, it may have been 2021, because we were in desperate need to kind of unload the roster. We were in a desperate need to get rid of players and bring in. We had a lot of undrafted free agent players on that team. Everybody remember the legend of Felipe Franks? How did Caleb Huntley end up on this team? And at that point, we were at a crossroads. But in 2021, we decided, you know what? Though we know we are going to be lacking in a position pretty soon, because there's no way they would have paid Matt Ryan what he was owed that last year or two. We did not get a quarterback. So in 2021, we said, you know what? At the end of the year, cut ties, Matt, see ya. In comes Marcus Mariota. We knew we were going to be in trouble. Marcus had us 4-4 leading the division in 2022. Then he did what Marcus Mariota does. It's average quarterback play. We brought in Desmond Ridder the last 4 years of 2022, contrary to belief. A lot of people say he's a rookie. He was a rookie last year. That's not true. Got him those 4 games. He did not turn the ball over, which is almost a joke now. And we said, you know what? Based on 4 games, we're ready to start 2023 season. They gave the ball to Desmond. We were fooled by 2 games. Carolina and Green Bay, or early Green Bay, not the Green Bay that ended the season, almost beating San Francisco. And now here we are again, looking at the quarterback position and said, what do we need to do to win? Folks, there is no easy answer to this question. Because if it was an easy solution, probably would have done it by now. And it's almost Christmas time for the Atlanta Falcons, because there's so many ways we can go about this. We can simply go the free agent way, which free agent way is kind of limited if you ask me. Quite honestly, the only tier of quarterback worth getting is probably Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins is sitting back probably looking at suitors like not only the Falcons, but Denver. Maybe he returns to Minnesota. I doubt it. Maybe Pittsburgh. Maybe Washington, a return back to where he got drafted. Who knows? Maybe we go the trade route. And obviously, Justin Fields' name is all over that. But according to all those who know more than everyone else, they claim that Justin isn't good for this area. And I mean, Justin came out himself and said, oh no, too many people will be asking for tickets. Come on, man. Stop playing. He came back to Atlanta. You love it. He scrubbed his Instagram. He's not coming, Steve. He said he might not. He loves Chicago. Okay, we'll see. But I'm not convinced he's the answer either. And then, of course, the thing that kind of makes everyone afraid, because most of the time when you talk about doing this, it's usually the sign that you're starting all over again, and that's drafting a quarterback. Now, have we seen in recent years that there have been a couple of quarterbacks that were brought in young and ended up doing the job? Yeah. Most recently, obviously, C.J. Stroud this year. Doesn't happen a lot, though, so you can't really count on it. But one thing you can give this franchise credit for is that they've stocked the cupboard pretty good. Running back room looking good. Wide receiver room could do a little work, but we're getting there. Tight end room looks nice right now. Offensive line, pretty solid. Got Jesse Bates back there captaining the defense, but we need a couple more pieces. We're losing some major guys on that side. But I think in the NFC South, and more importantly, the NFC, we're definitely in a position where we were competing. We were competing with a 6-9 record and almost had an opportunity not only to win the division, but go to the wild card. So who says what can't be done? But it's that magical, mystical position of quarterback. The one that everyone sits back. I can't say everyone. Let me stop doing that. I'd be guilty of doing what others do. Because there are other important positions on the field. Having an offensive line is paramount. Having a great pass rush is needed. Having good cornerbacks back there patrolling the back, gotta have it. Having linebackers that can go side to side, a must. Having the right offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator running the shows are just essential. But at the end of the day, when you look at most of the teams that are successful, it's because they have their quarterback position solidified. And we don't. And you look at some of the teams, I'm looking at the teams that didn't make the playoffs last year. Now, not talking about injuries, because that's not fair. Obviously, that's going to eliminate the Jets and eliminate the Chargers, even though the Chargers weren't exactly lighting the world up with Herbert early. But you look at the teams that are not in the playoffs, it's because either their quarterback was hurt or they didn't have good quarterback play. So it's so important that we get this right. Whether by draft, whether by free agent, or whether by trade. You got to get this right. The Falcons fans deserve it. Yeah, I say it. We do deserve it. As fans, we've been sitting here, yes, we're not signing checks like Arthur Blank. No, we're not having anything to do with the salary cap or any of that stuff. No, we're just told to show up, be emotional, and end up getting let down for 6 years in a row. Stop saying fans don't count. Stop saying fans don't matter. We matter. Of course we matter. Management knows we matter. We didn't matter. They wouldn't put a sale on jerseys and T-shirts during the off season so they can get you to buy more materials, more merchandise. If it doesn't matter, they wouldn't make videos during the off season to get you geeked up for the next year. We matter. And they know we matter. So enter Raheem Morris and this new look Atlanta Falcons team. Jimmy Lake, Zach Robinson. All of them at one time or another. Quarterback is important. So I want to ask you. So the title of this was Why are Falcons fans so emotional about the 2024 quarterback room? Why do you think we as fans are emotional more this year more than any other? I'll answer first. It's 6 years, man. It's 6 years. At some point, we got to stop pretending like, oh, well, y'all just stick with the team. They'll get better soon. At some point, that gets old. And you know what? In today's news cycle where things come in and go out so quickly, yeah, 6 years seems like 16 in this era. We've seen teams turn it around in a year or two. Why can't we be one of those teams? And we can. When you address the most important position in North American sports, the quarterback. So what do y'all say? Why do you think the Falcon fans are so emotional? Let's get to the chat, see what we got. Got a super chat already in the house. That's our brother Greg in here. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate you, brother. Y'all make sure y'all check Greg out on Greg's Custom Kicks. Greg said, what's up, Unc? Had to get some fresh air. I see your YouTube alert. The missus killing my nostrils with this fine solid bleach at the new house. Congratulations, brother. Hey, trust me. New house smell is a great thing. Congratulations to y'all. Y'all keep doing your thing and moving up, and appreciate you supporting all the time, brother. Appreciate you. John Brooks says, I want to win, but we do need a veteran quarterback. We are being linked to Justin Fields, but I don't know if that will happen or not. Again, so many different options, y'all. False start in the house. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Retro G is in here. What's going on, Retro? Barbara Ridley's in the house. Hey, Barbara said, we are tired of losing, and all the disappointment and embarrassment has been old for many years now. It's getting old. It's getting old. And we're getting tired of excuses. So we need that. We need that spark. Yeah, I hear some people. No, I'm not trying to ask you to try to reinvent the wheel. Go back to the good old days when the Georgia Dome and all that, because this ain't the Georgia Dome. This is Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We need some memories for this stadium. We really don't have any memories major for this stadium. I think the biggest game there so far, I don't even think I was there for it. That was the New Orleans-Atlanta game, that Thursday night game. I think that was probably the most exciting ending we've had in that stadium. Other than that, we haven't had a lot of memories there. We got to make some memories in this stadium. Make the playoffs. Get a home playoff game. Big John is in the house. What's going on, man? How you doing, brother? Demetrius is here. How you doing, sir? John Higgins says, all I want is that we make the right moves and win, and also win a championship, whatever those moves are. And that's easy to say, but we have to start being specific, though, at some point. I don't mind the fan that says, I'm going to go along to get along. That's fine. That's fine if you want that mentality. But at some point, we're going to have to start getting specific about these needs. And specifically this year, we need to improve that quarterback room. No doubt. At some point, we have to stop pretending like that's not important. David Starks is here. What's up, Dave? See, I know I'm emotional about our quarterback room because it's imperative that we get this right. The quarterback room last year cost us games, and we can't have another losing season. And that room is where it starts for us. And I think that's pretty much it encapsulates how I feel. And not only this year, David, go back to 2022. Listen, it was a cute story when Arthur Smith was winning the game with a subpar roster. It really was. I'm not even going to lie to you. If you go look at some publications and they'll say Arthur Smith, he did what he did with a makeshift team in 2022. And so goodness gracious, if he can do that with that roster, then the sky's the limit with the next roster. Then he says, you know what? Let me take that media momentum and start Desmond Ridder. And at some point, you got to tell the truth. It didn't work. Probably wasn't going to work. So now he's out of work. Well, not out of work. He's out of the head coach job. He's back to work with Pittsburgh. But you can't ignore that quarterback room, y'all. Wallace, what's going on, brother? What is going on with you, sir? He said, yeah, I knew we signed long snapper back. Yeah. Again, some people knew. Wallace, you're a deep embedded fan, so I would expect you to know. But I bet most people don't. And quite honestly, most people don't care. We can sit here all we want to pretend. People don't care. Don't care about the long snapper. They don't. They care more about Logan Woodside than they care about the long snapper. Tell me I'm lying. I'm not. Cortez, what's up, brother? He said, we did this to ourselves trying to play the Deshaun game. The only thing I'll argue that point, Cortez, when you say outplay, did this to ourselves, what Deshaun, and I know the first thing is saying, well, Deshaun Watson hadn't done anything this year. I understand that. But at the time we were trying to get Deshaun Watson, would that have been an upgrade over anything we had done the 2-3 years previously? The answer is yes. So I love the fact that they were in the conversation for Deshaun Watson. I love it. And if you can't applaud your team for trying to go out and get a talented quarterback, I mean, what are you going to do? Well, let's sit back and keep getting these 3rd round picks and 4th round picks and hope we can make a project quarterback a starter? No. They were shooting for the stars. Didn't work out. And let's not pretend like Matt had 2 years left in him. Let's start the timeline, folks. From the time we traded Matt Ryan, tell me, what did Matt Ryan do with the Indianapolis Colts? I'll wait. Absolutely nothing. So, yeah, I hear you. I'm not feeling you on that one. Henry, what's going on, brother? I love Felipe. I'll tell you, man, I'm not even going to lie to you. I wouldn't have minded they trotted out Felipe in 2021. Not 2021, 2022. You had nothing to lose. We did. Nando said, what's good, Unc? I expect for this whole quarterback room to change for this upcoming season. I expect us to draft 2 quarterbacks in this draft because the next year's quarterback class is just like the class when we got Ritter. Yeah, aside of maybe Shador, maybe Carson Beck if he improves. I know the Euros guy. I'm not feeling him as much. But Shador and Beck at this moment, those are the guys I look at for 2025. And I heard somebody's like, hey, let's just get all we're going to get and let's wait for Shador. Okay, so wait for Shador means basically lose games. Yeah, Raheem Morris ain't coming in here to go 2-15 and get the 1st round pick. Oh. Slim, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Said the Falcons need to put an offer in for Justin Fields, and if the Bears decline it, then they don't lose nothing. But all we know, the likelihood of the Falcons getting a top-tier quarterback is slim to none. And that's probably the crux of it all, because there are no guarantees. Well, first of all, let me get this out of the way. There's no guarantees with anybody. There's no guarantee with Kirk Cousins. There's no guarantees with any of the top 3 quarterbacks in the draft, meaning May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels. There's no guarantee with the other 3, JJ, Penix, and Nix. There's no guarantee that Kirk Cousins is going to come in here and light the world on fire. There's no guarantee Justin Fields will come in here and set the world on fire. Everything is a crapshoot. But secretly, though, y'all, isn't that what makes it exciting right now? I mean, tell the truth. Isn't that really what makes it exciting? I mean, we'd be going through an off season right now where if Arthur Smith was still here, we'd be still talking about Dez developing. Those words shouldn't even go together. Wouldn't that be exciting? I don't know. JJ the Great's in the house. What's going on, brother? First live I've caught in a while. It's all good, man. I haven't been on a whole lot, but I appreciate you joining us. Speaking of joining us, our brother John Harris is in the house. Y'all make sure y'all check John Harris out on the eye test. They've been having some great banter lately. Last couple of, I think this Wednesday night that they come on. Y'all make sure y'all check them out. He said, I really hated to be right about Arthur and the not ready for primetime players. You kids don't know that. Saturday Night Live's old things that comprise his offensive coaching staff. They upset our stomach. Hey, it won't be the first time you've been right, brother. You've been right about a lot of stuff. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the eye test over there. Nando says, I'm emotional, because we've been kicking the can down the road since the departure of Matt Ryan, too. And Nando, telling the truth, we waited too long to really get rid of Matt Ryan. I know everybody's waxing poetic. Well, we haven't been the same since Matt Ryan, but let's not act like 2021 was a awesome year. And I know, look, Matt didn't plan on Julio to leave. Matt didn't plan on Calvin Ridley. Well, no, that was the next year, actually. But, let's not pretend like that was going to be a year that we were going to do some stuff. Matt was not going up. He was going down. And the mere fact that he stayed in the booth this year and didn't even think about coming out lets you know where he was. JJ said, we're emotional because we're sick and tired of mid quarterback play. Marcus Mariota, Motorola, didn't work. Desmond Midler didn't work. We're tired. You said a mouthful. And again, I want to make sure I'm clear, though, JJ. I still don't think the Marcus Mariota thing, I think that was one where they said, you know what? We just need you to pretend to be a quarterback right here. Act like you're going to win some games. These fans will buy it until we get to the next phase. Now, the next phase was messed up because they thought Desmond Ridder was actually going to be the next guy. So, Lost Tigers said, we tired, boss. Oh, man, that's funny. Derek, what's up, bro? He said they're so emotional because they've been so close and just want a championship. That's fair. That's fair. And y'all do realize we're closer to 10 years from the Super Bowl than we were 5 years. I mean, we're going in the position where the Super Bowl is going back further and further. I'm talking the one in 2017, further and further and further away. So, but we just starving. We starving for a winner. And in Atlanta right now, I mean, the Braves are getting ready to kick off pretty soon. Let's hope they can, get a smile back on our face. But, I mean, you look at the Hawks. I mean, United lost their first game, but, that's a long season. But we need something different in this city. We need a winner. Mike, what's going on, Mike? Said, please tell me why Daniels is a fit in the new offense, but Fields isn't. They both throw and run. Quarterbacks make sense to me. I don't think it's any. Quite honestly, I think you have people that it depends on your narrative. I'll give you my narrative for both of them. I would love the idea of having Jaden Daniels here as well. To your point, both athletic. Jaden Daniels could absolutely throw the rock. But there is something that scares me about Jaden Daniels not being as experienced in the NFL. And maybe his the CJ Stroud thing doesn't happen every year. Let's face it. So there is that for Jaden Daniels. Justin Fields, you can't deny his talent. We've seen that. Another thing is he's gotten better, but you can't totally ignore that he's only won about 11, 12 games in his career. Is that all on him? No. But as a quarterback, unfortunately, you get all the blame and you get all the credit. And Chicago Bear fans, there are some who still want to keep him, but there are a lot that says, you know what? Mitch Trubisky did get us to the playoffs, albeit with a better defense, I know. So it's a little bit for both of them. Here is that, of course, we're emotional, and I'll add passionate too, especially since the past 2 seasons with substandard quarterback play with Mariota and Ritter. And the key word in that phrase is substandard. And Henry, more ticked off at Arthur Smith for bringing that substandard option to Atlanta and letting him start, meaning Desmond Ritter. So it's just, yeah, it's kind of, it's I just have no words sometimes. It's just mind-boggling. Slim said the reason why the Falcons fans are so emotional is because they think the Falcons can get any quarterback they want. And they should expect extremely cheap contracts like we're still in 1999. Reality is hurting. Very fair statement about we can go get anyone we want. The Kirk Cousins situation, put that out there for a second. Because I've heard this argument, Kirk Cousins obviously as the only viable free agent that you would get to start here. And I can't put Russell there yet. Russell hasn't been cut. And then Justin Fields, if he comes here and then they have to immediately say, hey, we're going to accept you on your 5th-year deal, which will be $20-something million. Folks, there is a price to pay for the most important position in North American sports. The quarterback position. I don't care what team you are. San Francisco is lucking up right now because San Francisco has a super uber talented team and Brock Purdy doesn't have to be paid right now. That's probably the only exception. In Houston, if CJ Stroud wins another year, I'm telling you folks, that rookie contract you're going to get an early extension on that. You're going to get a Jalen Hurts-ish type move on that contract. Quarterbacks cost now. Kirk Cousins isn't worth $40 million. Says who? The Giants just paid that for Daniel Jones. And folks, that ain't far from what he should have got. If you're on your second contract in the NFL and you're just taking your team to a playoff, there's an expectation that you're going to be at least $30 to $35 million. So am I saying Daniel Jones should have gotten $40 million? Not necessarily. But I understand why he got $40 million. Oh, man, Tua is sitting at home right now. I was talking to my son about this earlier today. Tua's agent is probably getting his home set up on South Beach right now. Because whether people like it or not, Tua about to get paid. Not because individually the name Tua Tagovailoa should be paid that much. It's just that's what the quarterbacks are going for right now. That's what they're going for. Justin Fields falls in that same category. If he gets traded here, folks, and he gets signed to his 5th-year option, guess what? That's $20-something million. That's the going rate. If you accept the option, that's the going rate. We got to stop pretending like quarterbacks are, you're going to nickel and dime your quarterbacks. Oh, Russell will come in here. He'll take minimum. That's yeah, right. Russell ain't coming in here taking $2 million. He's going to take an incentive-laden contract that'll pay him if he hits some markers. I don't care how much Denver paying him. So we got to stop thinking cheap, kind of like Slim saying a little bit. Bags in the house, what's going on, man? Bags, we talking about why Falcons fans are so emotional about our 2024 quarterback room. Robinson, what's up, brother? See, I just want to win a chip and party on Peachtree. I'll fly in from the NYC for that. Go Blue UNC. Look, man, let me tell you something. That would be a lovely thing to see. I think most Falcon fans, and that's probably where their emotion comes from. We are still wounded. We are still putting peroxide on that wound from February 2017. We're still putting it on. And folks get mad when we mention it. They get mad. But it is what it is. It's a wound, and it hurts. And until we either get to the Super Bowl again or win it, it's a scar that's not going to go away. No plastic surgery, no nothing can take that away. Shoot, even if we win a Super Bowl, still going to be a little stinger. Sterling Wood said we need a quarterback, more wide receivers. We need to put pressure on these quarterbacks by adding a pass rush. Sterling got to do every one of those. But you better get somebody, because I'm going to tell you what. Remember the checklist, Sterling, from last year to this year? Let's go by. Falcons said you got to improve offensive line play. Technically, we did improve offensive line play. Atlanta Falcons was the 4th-rated offensive line in the NFL. Check. We got to improve the pass rush. We got to get more sacks. 18 to 40 is an improvement. Check. Safety play. Went out and got the best safety, arguably, in the NFL. Kind of got robbed. Should have been first team All-Pro this year. And Jesse Bates. Check. Went out, got the most explosive running backs, with all apologies to Jahmyr Gibbs coming out of the draft last year. Just didn't use them right. Check. After all those checks I just gave, Sterling, what did we not do to make our team better than 7-10? I'll let you think about it. It's not hard to figure out. So I hear you. We still need to improve those other positions. But you got to get the quarterback right. What good is it getting neighbors from LSU or my buddy from University of Washington? What good is it to get all those skilled players if you don't have quality folks passing to them? I keep hearing, well, maybe we should trade up and get Harrison. For what? And have Desmond Ritter throw it to him? Come on, man. I need somebody to think outside the box. Barbara said if they get the WB wrong, it will set this franchise back another 5 years. Talking the wrong quarterback, I'm sure. Derek says, hey, Stephen Johnson, nice to see you. Yes, sir. Nice to see you too, my friend. Dwayne says, what's up, Uncle Steve? I think a lot of people is anxious to see who we're going to get at quarterback. There's so much anticipation for our team. We are ready to hold the Lombardi up for our city. It's been too long. The Aints and the Sucks both have won the big game. It's our time now. And boy, they don't hesitate from telling us to. Buccaneers fans, Saints fans, they rub that in our face. Yeah, we need to get that. We need to get that chip before they get another one. Barbara said they need to get Khalil Mack and draft the edge too. I wouldn't mind getting Khalil Mack. I wouldn't. He had a little bit of resurgence this year. I'm just concerned that he's getting older. I get it. Don't get me wrong. He's been better than anything we've had in the last few years, though I see some young guys move it up. Antonio, what's up, brother? Said people really be in their feelings if you disagree with them as far as your pick for quarterback. Can we agree to disagree without being blatantly disrespectful? Antonio, the one thing we have a different in this world where we all have social media discussions about these things and stuff like that. The great thing about social media is that everyone has a voice. Excuse me. The bad thing about social media is that everyone has a voice. Yes, I said the same thing twice. What I mean is, sometimes I think people think their emotions and their disrespect is the only way to get their point across, and the only way you can, quote unquote, I don't know, debate it or have your opinion against mine. I guess I'm still old fashioned in that way, that I can still, I love having a conversation with somebody. And I'm telling y'all right now, for those of you who watch the eye test, John Harris and I are very good friends. And I can tell you, he and I have had some of and he'll tell you this too, some of the most polar opposite opinions about what the Atlanta Falcons do. And we still can stay in the room. We'll stay battling for an hour or two. Matter of fact, probably, I want to say unofficially stole time at work talking about the Falcons. But you can still do it and be respectful to each other. Now, I don't know where people were raised. I don't know how people get down like that. That's, whatever. If you're from a different area where I was and you didn't talk like I talk, that's fine. And if you can find that person that y'all just, that's how y'all do it, knock yourself out. There's a audience for everyone. Sterling says, thank you. Matt was declining. Absolutely, Matt was declining. Absolutely, it was. Antonio said he got a $22 million check from Indy while he was booth. You got down right, he was. Matt was like, I told y'all, when y'all saw Matt, that one little thing where they showed Cam Jordan coming behind him on the sideline and pretending to tackle him and stuff, and you saw Matt's reaction. Oh, Matt don't want any more of that, man. Matt got him back later on, for those who you thought that was wrong for Cam, but he got him back. But yeah, Matt took that check, and Matt probably trying to make some more ice cubes out there. JJ says, tired of waiting for quarterbacks. First it was wait for Caleb. Then before it was wait for Bryce. Yeah, I know that's right. Thank God we dodged that bullet. Yeah, I'm not for that either. Real Talk Sports is in here. What's going on? Said, what's up, Unc? I hope we get a veteran quarterback. Don't want to gamble in the draft. And that's fair. That's fair to say a veteran quarterback. But again, there's a pro and a con for that. The pro being veteran quarterback, absolutely. Some experience. But you're going to have to pay. And like somebody said earlier, we still got some other positions to kind of fortify too. Even with the bump in the salary cap, still got a lot of work to do. Yes, you want to put most of your eggs in the basket for a quality quarterback, but at what cost? Barbara said quarterback. Yeah, see, Barbara, you know you threw me off too because I was like, she's like, Warner Brothers? I was like, I think I got you at the end. Stella says, still want to know why Dez didn't have a quarterback coach. That's the most baffling, ridiculous situation that you had a running backs coach teaching you how to play quarterback. And I know, don't get me wrong, there might be some running back coaches that might have played quarterback and might have done something, but you're absolutely right, Sterling. If you were going to get a third round pick and your thought was to polish him off and make him this diamond in the rough, then you probably should have brought in some coaches for him. That should have been the plan, but you didn't do that. Dexter says, I see how Kirk Cousins was playing when he got hurt, but what has Minnesota did with him the last 6 years? Cousins can't win the big games on prime time and have 4 losing seasons, I think. Here's that problem, Dexter. Again, I go back to the Eddie Murphy joke about if you haven't had food for a long time and somebody give you a saltine cracker. And you have that saltine cracker, you start eating, and you think it's the best thing ever. And I think that's where we are in the quarterback position. The beggars can't be choosy. If Kirk Cousins comes along and we're able to slide him in for $30 million and do something, yeah, he might not have won the big game the last 6 years, but at least he won something the last couple of years. I mean, yeah, they got embarrassed by the Giants in the playoffs 2 years ago, but at least they've been competitive. Even last year, until the very end, they were kind of competitive. So that's one of those cases where I don't know, I can't be too hard on them. JJ said, went to the Super Bowl my senior year of high school and I graduated 2 years ago. JJ, you're younger than I thought you were. Dexter says he had a run game and everything. He's not worth $45 million and $90 million guaranteed. We might as well get Russell's for penny on the dollar, and he has won the big one before. 26 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, best pass. Listen, I don't have a problem with getting Russell Wilson, but here's my theory. If you get Russell Wilson, you're going to have to draft your rookie quarterback. And as much as Russell Wilson has those competitive fires, and I just saw him saw some highlights of him on the Pivot show with Ryan Clark and company. And Russell wants to win, and Russell saying all the right things. I want to be in Denver. Man, Russell don't want to be in Denver. They embarrassed that dude. They embarrassed that dude, and they stripped him of his professional. What am I saying? It's not his fault that everything fell apart in Denver. But yet Sean Payton is coming in saying, you know what? This dude is not Drew Brees. Let's get rid of him before this contract really gets us. And to sit him down those last couple of games, that was embarrassing. And give Russell credit for not doing a Marcus Mariota and running away from it. But Russell don't want anything to do with Denver. But if Russell comes, Dexter, he's got to come with the situation here in Atlanta. There are no guarantees. You might start game 1, but you might not start game 6. And I'm not sure if Russell, even for being cheap, I'm not sure if Russell wants to get in that situation. I think Russell wants to get somewhere where he thinks he's going to be for the next couple of years. You heard his thing. He said, I want 2 Super Bowls in the next 5 years. Well, unless you're willing to grab a clipboard, I don't think that's going to be 5 years here with the Falcons. Nando said, Oz is tied. held on to Matt Ryan 3 years too long. The same old horror story on Sundays. This will be my 43rd season. We, the fan base, is tired, Uncle Steve. And you're absolutely right, Dondo. I think they never should have signed him to that last contract. Here's the deal on that. Matt Ryan, unfortunately, not Matt Ryan, Arthur Blank, who finally admitted the Falcon for Life moniker and all of that stuff, was wearing thin. And I feel like he should have, he should have been wise those last couple of years. Thomas Dimitroff pretty much said the same thing. He's trying to hold on to players. Him, Julio, that last year where Julio was trying to demand those last 3 years, that was foolish. And now you see other players not doing that anymore. They getting rid of wide receivers before they pull the diva move. And I say diva move, not necessarily their personality. Look, Stephon Diggs, A.J. Brown, D-Hop. All those players left before they got that third chunk that Julio was trying to get. Antonio says May or Daniels all day. I could take that too. Bag says, I think Fields is the way to go. Just like Lamar had to have a team built around him, Justin needs that same just do. We wanted Lamar badly. Fields is that same caliber player with an even better arm. Okay. And I'm not against the Justin Fields thing. And I know that it's like, man, dude, you are so even about this. It's not that I'm so even about this. There are, barring coming back to the gate with Desmond Ridder, who's not ready to be a starting quarterback in the NFL in 2024. Aside of that, I'm honestly open to anything. I really am. Because even in the draft where you don't have where there is an unknown with these three guys, and I'm talking about the top three, May Daniels and Williams, is it not true that those three guys are probably at this moment more talented than the quarterbacks we have on the roster right now? The answer is yes. Y'all know it. Stop playing. Experience? No. What it's going to be like to be in the NFL at first shot? No. But more talented? Yes. I got some news for y'all too. Y'all can laugh at Zach Wilson all you want to. Zach Wilson got more talent than Desmond Ridder. And maybe even Tyler Heineke. Horrible situation. Can't be up there in New York failing. Mike say, what's your gut feeling? What do we do at number 8? Who are we going to get? I have this sneaky suspicion, and this is way before Steve Weiss came out with his story yesterday. I've just had a feeling that I think they're going to trade up. Whether that means all the way up to number 1, or I don't think so. Maybe 3 or 4 after they see what the Chicago stuff they're going to do with Justin Fields. I think they're going to go up. I think they'd rather go up, get their quarterback, keep that quarterback salary at least for the next 2 to 3 years at what it is, and see what they can do. See if they can make some magic. I do not think they'll be there at number 8. Backtown Dirty, what's going on, brother? You're never too late, brother. Always welcome. As a matter of fact, as y'all come in, make sure y'all do hit the like button as y'all coming in. I do want to make sure a little bit we got a special thing going on, and I want y'all all to be part of it. Brother Smitty from Smitty Sports Machine is celebrating his 10,000 subscribers. So I'll be probably popping in there in a few minutes after we finish up here. But y'all make sure y'all celebrate him as well as we go on through. Next, it says, be honest, Chicago had the highest scoring defense and turnovers after trading for Sweat. Fields did all right. He had his best game on us, and so did some of the other QBs. I'm not really a Fields fan. And that's no problem with that. look, Fields is not the next coming. Matter of fact, I'll even say this, Dexter, Fields is not probably in the top 15 of quarterbacks in the NFL. But let me ask you this question. Is Fields better than anything we've trotted out there the last 2 seasons? I think the answer is yes. And I think that's why I think it's low risk. Even if you paid him $25 million next year, I think it's low risk. So, again, y'all like the video if y'all on YouTube. Definitely like the video if you're on Facebook. Thanks for joining us in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Barbara says, Peter King has been right about Falcons for 3 straight drafts. He said we trade up to the number 2 pick to get Drake May or Daniels. Thoughts, Barbara? If we do that, I ride that train all day. And I'll tell you this, Barbara, don't be shocked if whether it be to us or somebody else that after this combine coming up, don't be surprised if Chicago makes their move with Justin Fields. I don't think they're going to play around after that. I think they're going to see what they have going on in the combine when they interview these guys, get all the measurables and stuff of that nature. And I think that's when you're going to see them make their move. David Starr says $40 million annual is the market for a starting quarterback in today's game. Elite quarterbacks will now start at $50 million annually, thanks to Burrows and Hurts. And David, that's just economics of the game. And every time we see this salary cap bump up, folks, in about 2 more years, those numbers David gave, it'll be $50 million annually for a starting quarterback and $60 for the elite, 60 and above for the elite. It's going to happen. Y'all do remember Matt Ryan back in 2018 was the highest paid quarterback in the league, and he was barely at $30 million a year. That was 2018. That wasn't that long ago. So this is not going to stop. Ron Thomas in the house. What's up, Ron? Ron said, can we pay Russell with food stamps? Bro, I'm going to go up there with an EBT card trying to get Russell Wilson. We might, man. You never know. We might. Dexter says, but I do imagine him and Bijan in the backfield at the same time can really help. I think we really can help him with our players in the backfield. Thinking out loud, he has had a different coordinator. Yeah, and I agree with that too. I mean, when you put him in a different environment, maybe we'll see. I'll be willing to try that. Henry said the Falcons can convert Troy Anderson to a pass rusher since Landman played pretty well, or vice versa. What a great dilemma to have. The coming out party of Nate Landman. And I was hearing people saying they're going to he's a exclusive rights free agent. Meaning somebody can come along and make an offer for him, but Atlanta gets the rights to match it. But I'm telling you, that what a option. Because I think Troy Anderson was going to be ready this year. So now you got 2 of them. WCG, what's up, bro? Said if you want a Super Bowl ring, you can forget about signing a free agent. You either trade up to the top of the draft or tank to get a top pick to get a franchise quarterback. You're not winning a ring without one. I am not opposed to trading up. The tanking stuff, I'm never a tank guy. But yeah, trading up, I'll go for that all day. Michael said Russell's so funny. He just listed his house for sale and he said he wants to stay. Yeah, but Russell plays the media, Mike. You know that. Russell is the face of a franchise. He's the golden boy in front of the mic, never says a wrong thing, always uplifting, all that. And people get mad at that. He's too clean cut. Yeah, right. What else do you want in front representing your team? I want the best. So I don't mind that he gets like that. But yeah, that doesn't shock me at all. Yeah, that house will be on sale. Justin says, what's up with Desmond Ritter twin J.J. McCarthy being leaked to Atlanta coaches staff? I have no idea. And if you're telling me just J.J. McCarthy is available in the second round, if we mess around and get a free agent quarterback, maybe. My son, who digs deep into a lot of the college play and stuff, and a lot of the people that come out last couple of years, he's been pretty spot on. He's probably right at about a 90% clip at what these guys end up doing. He tells me, he's like, Dad, I'm telling you, J.J. McCarthy is not that guy. He said if they draft him in the first round, somebody's going to be disappointed. And that's him. That's not me. I'm willing to give him a chance. He does not like him. That's 19-year-old talking, so I don't know. Said McCarthy came out a year too early. If he went back to college, he would have been fighting for a first quarterback taken. Maybe. My brother Brian is in the house. What's up, Brian? How you doing, man? Good evening to you. Thank you for joining us again at Uncle Steve's Lounge. Again, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. If you like the content, appreciate you. Nando says, with the Ritter draft, and I have a side-eye look at the Atlanta Falcons for not having a developmental plan in the war room during the drafting of Ritter. His play really not his folks. I have said this even last year before they put him out there, Nando. I don't blame Ritter personally for his play all the time. There were some times that I say, oh, you made some bad decisions. But I think Arthur Smith threw a man out there that wasn't ready yet. It's plain and simple. And Desmond Ritter wasn't ready. Is that his fault totally? Maybe not. Not Desmond's fault, but Arthur's got to be better. Ray, what's going on, Ray? How you doing, brother? Good to see you in the house. I appreciate you coming in. Bag says, I could be wrong, but me personally, I don't see the hype with May. Nice arm and mechanics, but a top quarterback, I just don't see it on. The game is transitioning to the dual threat that can swing it. Now, I'll say this. May is a little bit more athletic than you think. Now, I did see some film on him during a couple of games. He's not a total statue. He's not going to remind you of Justin Fields or Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams or anything like that. But he is a solid quarterback. What I want somebody that, and I know this is hard because I want that balance between a smart quarterback and an athletic quarterback. Somebody who is going to be able to read these defenses quicker. And I know it's going to be hard for a rookie. CJ Stroud did an outstanding job getting as far as he did, but eventually you just run into a team that's probably more experienced and better. I think CJ Stroud his ceiling is so high right now. He's going to be awesome. But I think Drake May is not as bad as you think. So I would say go back and give him a chance. Go back and look at a couple more things. The only game I'd seen prior to about a couple of weeks ago, and I was watching on the NFL Network, they showed some stuff on Drake May as far as his arm strength and stuff. His arm strength is not that bad. But I was concerned he wasn't beating mediocre teams. But as far as him individually, I don't think I'd be disappointed if he was on the team. I don't. False Start says, well, Blank is very aggressive when he wants something. Let's hope he wants a quarterback in the draft. Vic, John Abraham, just two examples. I do know he has come out verbally and said they need to improve the quarterback room. So I think if Terry and Raheem and Zach Robinson go in there and say, listen, I know a lot of people don't like the idea of putting the team in the hands of a rookie, but I'm telling you, Mr. Blank, if we go up here to number 2, I'm telling you, we can make something out of Caleb Williams or Drake May or Jaden Daniels. And I think he'll be on. I think he'll go for it. Henry says the Falcons quarterback doesn't have to be fancy just as long as he gets the job done. And that's the problem. I think Henry, you do have a contingency. One of my good buddies, he just talking to me, my old classmate, he was telling me, he's like, man, let's bring it back to the Vic years. Well, the Vic years were great and they were exciting, but there was also a reason that the early 2000s Mike Vick wasn't more than that, because that's all it was. It was exciting. And yes, he won some games too. But boy, if we got the Mike Vick that went to Philadelphia, we would have been talking about a Super Bowl instead of the NFC Championship. So you're absolutely right. They don't have to be fancy. They don't have to be fancy. They don't have to be uber exciting. They don't have to be electrifying. I just want somebody that wins. And as much as I laugh when you saw the criticism that Brock Purdy got all year about the game manager and whatever. Brock Purdy wasn't pretty. Brock Purdy just won. If you give me that, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Kelvin, what's going on, man? Good to see you. He said, what do you think of the rumor of the Falcons being aggressive and going after May at number 2, Kelvin? And we just finished talking about that. I'll do it in a heartbeat. And let's also put this in mind. I know a lot of people are scared, Kelvin, about giving up the next year's number 1 and whatever. It's got to be high risk, high reward in this situation. Because I'll tell you what, if you do get the right guy for the next 5 to 8 years in this franchise, who cares about that 2025 pick? It's only a concern. People only get concerned about it when it doesn't work out. But if you do your homework as the Falcons with the staff and everything, if you do your homework and you get your guy in your offense, in your system, we won't have this discussion. The discussion will be about bringing pieces in the next 3 to 4 years while his salary is in a good place to win. So I love the idea. Nado says, Unc, I think Terry would trade Bijan or Pitts and maybe Tyler in this trade package to move up in the draft board. He's not going to trade Bijan. There's a slight chance I could see a world where you would trade Kyle Pitts because of the upcoming financial stuff getting ready to come on. This is his 4th year, and they're going to have to make a decision about his 5th year here in a second. So he would be primed to do that. Now, that would be interesting. You would be left right now. I think Jonnu Smith is still on the roster, but Jonnu comes at a nice chunk too. I'm looking right now. Jonnu Smith is owed $6 million this year. Kyle Pitts, after all of his bonuses, is owed right at about that's going to be close to $10 million for him. So we'll see how that works out. I don't think they're going to be in a rush to get rid of him, but we'll see how that works out. WCG says need to also judge whether or not the Jaguars are going to be their normal cheap selves. They will be foolish enough to let Trevor Lawrence test the market. That's a very good question right there, too. I know last year ended very badly for Jacksonville, but I do feel like they have that guy. I think Doug Peterson knows Trevor Lawrence can be, when he's good, when Trevor is rolling, he can be very good. Y'all remember He almost upset Kansas City last year on their way to that Super Bowl last year. So a lot of things happen in Jacksonville that just kind of snake bit them in the end. But if they're smart, they'll first re-sign Calvin so we can get this pick, this second round over the third rounder. And they'll go ahead and get that 5th year locked in for Trevor Lawrence. I don't see them letting him go, WCG. But I will say this. It would be an interesting situation if somebody like the Falcons would say, hey, let me go, let's see if we can get Trevor in here. Never know. And on that note, folks, we've been in here for a little while. I appreciate everyone joining us on the Monday Minutia. Y'all make sure y'all go over to my buddy Smitty Sports Machine, celebrate his 10,000 subscriber broadcast. He's going to be doing that tonight. I'm going to pop in over there. Before y'all pop out, make sure y'all like the video over here, share it with your friends, tell everybody about the Uncle Steve's Lounge experience. I hope you guys like it. Make sure after the video, if y'all have any other questions, please put them in the comments. I usually try to answer everybody when they come on. If you've been in the stream before, you guys know after the video cuts off, I'm still going back to see if anybody else asked any questions on the video. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us here on the Monday Minutia. Until then, I will talk to you guys later. Everyone have a great week.